I'm not going to talk about the budget that much. Actually, extremely little. Because everyone else is talking about the budget. You don't need to hear it from me. But I'm going to talk about perspective because there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect out there. Like there's this disconnect where some people think Canada's a third world country, but millionaires per capita, Canada's right here in the middle, 59.9. Well ahead of other G7 nations aside from the United States. Could we do better? Sure, but we're quite a ways away from being a third world country. Like Brazil is down here. The Saudis are over here. Russia's down there. We're almost on par with Singapore and Sweden. Definitely not third world countries. And then there's this odd perspective from Rosemary Barton on CBC the other day. Talking about the budget. Talking about Harper's budgetary surplus. This is federal gross debt. There's Harper's budgetary surplus. Federal debt is falling for quite a while there. Was there a surplus before Harper came along? Why, yes. Yes, there was. Jean Chrétien had 7 surpluses in his 10 years in office. Paul Martin had 2 over here. And then Stephen Harper had 2 before the Great Financial Collapse. So it's funny how those 2 surpluses get a mention, but the 9 surpluses that came before that don't. Perspective. All right, if you have a problem with the budget, you should probably, download the document and read through it first. Don't just take the word of your buddy who also didn't read this document. And this is very high level. It doesn't break down a whole bunch of detail. Really, it's nothing new. It's stuff they've been talking about for months. Now, I said yesterday voting against this budget and kicking off another election would be a terrible idea. Apparently, Chris D'Entremont agrees. Yeah, he crossed the floor from the Conservatives to the Liberals, and I'm expecting a few more people to do this. At the very least, I expect them to abstain from voting so that there is not another election. Because this budget is just the shit that we need to do. We need to invest in national infrastructure, we need to invest in our military, etc., etc., etc. Again, there's nothing new here. Now, this video was posted as a response to my comment from yesterday where I said, but you're fine with openly corrupt conservatives that want to give everything to private companies. Great call. As if somehow that was an incorrect statement? As Alberta is dealing with the corruption from Danielle Smith and as Ontario is dealing with the open corruption from Doug Ford, I'm wondering if anybody read the Conservative Party of Canada declaration. Conservatives want to give everything to private companies. Conservative Party Policy Declaration. Scroll on down and it says, we support the privatization of crown corporations that compete directly with comparable services from existing private sector institutions. Do you know what that's referring to? That means they are opposed to things like public education, public health care, public utilities, little things like water. Yup, conservatives love the idea of privatizing water because Milton Friedman thought it was a good idea in the 70s. See, back in the 1970s, the Chicago Boys, a group of Chilean economists, they studied under Milton Friedman, and they worked for dictator Augusto Pinochet, so they privatized Chile's water. And now they're having discussions like, this substance that you need to survive, does it count as a human right? Are there any human rights? Why do you think I made this comment? Because the comment before this was saying that the Liberals want to privatize everything. It's literally in the Conservative Party Policy Declaration. And a whole bunch of the rest of the shit on this page and in this policy declaration is addressed in this budget. So why would the Conservatives oppose it?